Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, we had a nice little wick down yesterday. No doubt was some FOMC related shenanigans, but yeah, nice wick down to our 60k horizontal level, and then bought straight back up. So obviously that is a bullish wick. The fact we got bought back up, and now we are obviously still trading up back basically where we were. So yeah, still trading sideways within this range that we've been looking at. We did close the candle above, and then we didn't get any acceleration though. So obviously that's the clear swing failure that we were potentially looking at, and yeah, and that literally did take us, albeit in a pretty aggressive fashion. The swing failure took us straight back down to the actual exact bottom level. So yeah, pretty textbook sideways stuff there in true Bitcoin fashion. FOMO the longs in, slam them down. And then slam them down, FOMO the shorts in, and then bring us back up. I mean, this is no less than we are used to trading this market. But yeah, still, as I was saying, as I have been saying for a while, just potential sideways within a range, within a larger range, just ping-ponging around the levels until ultimately we decide we do want to take the next leg up. And the next leg up could be a pretty good one though, going into Q4 and Q1 of Q4 of this year, Q1 of next year. Yeah, we could be in for some serious action, because we do have basically the macroeconomic picture data wise is starting to shift again. It was shifting from stagflation to reflation, that reflation trade I was talking about into the end of the year where stocks are going to go up. That reflation trade which is underway, and then reflation is basically when you have increasing growth but also increasing inflation, and then what you have also is then the Goldilocks scenario, which is increasing growth but with downward trending inflation. That is a Goldilocks scenario. That is the ideal scenario for all risk assets, and that on the margins that is starting to look like it is starting to trend up in probability wise that is what we're going to have going into Q4 and Q2 next year. So and just to put that in perspective for you, in the S&P, annualized expected returns in reflation for the S&P are 16%, and annualized expected returns to the S&P in the Goldilocks scenario are 27%, so it's quite significant. But wait for it, with Bitcoin the annualized expected returns in reflation, basically market environment are 100%, so a 1x, not 100%, 2x. But if we are going to enter a Goldilocks scenario, the annualized expected return for Bitcoin are nearer 400%. That is obviously annualized, so that is for a whole year. If we were in a Goldilocks scenario for a whole year, we could expect obviously a 400% move up in Bitcoin. But like I said, this will potentially be Q4. If it is to be, it will be Q4 into Q1 next year, so potentially half a year. So maybe we could look at a 200% increase in Bitcoin, a 200% or so increase, obviously half of 400, year being half of for 6 months being half of a year. Let's see where 400% takes us. Wait, that ain't right. Wait, what are we looking at here? How is that saying? Wait, let's just zoom this down a bit. Yeah, this is I know what's going on. Right, let's zoom this down a bit. Let's get my measuring tool out again. Hopefully we've got enough room here. Yeah, I mean basically it takes us pretty high, doesn't it? Realistically, it takes us pretty high. That's all we really need to though. Let's zoom this out a bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Let's get the measuring tool. A 400% move from Bitcoin from here. Yeah, there we go. Just over 300k. Yeah, just over 300k dollar Bitcoin. So that is a oh wait, that's why. That's a 400%. We were looking at what a 200% was, because realistically, if our looks in, we can expect it for 2 quarters, i.e. half a year, i.e. half the annualized expected return. So that takes us to just a about 190,000 Bitcoin. So maybe we get front run under the 200,000, maybe we get front run over the 200,000, but realistically speaking, it is looking like that is going to be the realistically speaking, that is going to be the realistic target. Yeah, that is pretty much going to be the target now, and based on obviously the data we have going on at the moment and the emerging trend of the Goldilocks scenario, i.e. reduction in inflation and an increase in growth, then yeah, and obviously where the reduction in inflation comes from is obviously the workforce coming back into play. all those people that have basically just not been working, either they've been trading on Robinhood, collecting benefits, collecting stimmies, just all those enhanced unemployment benefits, all that cool stuff. Those people are going to come back to the workforce, and that is obviously going to put a downward pressure on the supply chain part of things for a start. And then also what is going to scupper our plans into the end of Q1, Q2 next year. That will be when the Fed has finally tapered enough that the Treasury is having to actually tap on the open market, and then we are going to get then that's just going to be a drag. That's obviously going to be a drag because that's going to be a net liquidity negative, and we just all know these markets are liquidity driven. So yeah, some macro stuff there. 200k Bitcoin potentially incoming into the end of Q1 next year, and yeah, it has to be a realistic target. Let's have a look at the Ethereum Satoshi pairing. Obviously with Bitcoin's crazy action had a bit of a wake up, but yeah, holding up here. holding up above our levels. Like I said, this is our next major level of resistance. It's our next pretty much and last major level of resistance. Once we're above here, I think Ethereum will start to go nuts. If we get up there. So yeah, and then if we look at the USD pairing, also looking good, hanging around those highs as well. DXY doing a little bit of his just general sideways dance here, not really much to see. The 10-year took a bit of a leg up, obviously on Powell's mapping out the we can't even call it tightening, the tapering. Yeah, tapering, that's why they call it tapering, because it's not tightening, it's just less loosening. Stocks obviously loving life based on obviously that action from the Fed. Nasdaq loving life as well. I mean, yeah, like I said, we're in a crack up boom. We were in a reflation environment. Now the risk is we go into an even better environment for risk assets. So yeah, literally this is pretty much the definition of make hay whilst the sun shines. You got about 6 months, guys, maybe less, maybe less. Yeah, to fill your boots. So fill your boots, guys. That's basically that is the message here. What else have we got going on? Not much else I want to particularly look at there. If we now have a look at those stochastics, 4 hour coming down. It's a bit of downward pressure from the 4 hour. That's 10 hour. What is it doing? I bet it's flopping around a bit. I bet it's just flopping around a bit. Currently pointing down at the moment. 12 hour. I'm sure it's doing similar things to the 10 hour. Well, we got a delay. We got a delay in the 12 hour now. Yeah, 12 hour. Yeah, sort of looking a little bit toppy, but then I think some of the other time frames looking good. I mean, this daily read is fantastic if it keeps going and gets going and keeps going. That's a great read. 2-day potentially will turn back up at some point. 3-day will, but obviously pointing down at the moment still. 5-day looking to turn down. Weekly still looking very good though. Obviously bi-weekly, monthly, which are going to be pretty much the indicators that that 100k and then onwards to 200k Bitcoin is potentially incoming. But yeah, drag from the medium term ones and even the short term stochastics. So I mean, when long term's up, medium and short term are down. I mean, realistically, we are just looking for ranging within obviously a wide range, because we just know Bitcoin trades in a highly volatile fashion with big percents. But yeah, I mean, if we hold on here for a bit, for another couple of weeks, that would not look too untowards, whilst we do reset and turn these around and then eventually bust above 67k, make our way towards 100k. So very, very bright picture there painted for you guys. I mean, that is basically what the data is telling us. That is what the data is telling us, so obviously we should run with that. Yeah, I mean, levels to the downside are just, we can see the levels. These are just a technicality. We break below here, yeah, we'll take the next ones. I mean, there's nothing really fundamentally that's going to drive us down there. Maybe we get some crypto specific FUD, but at the end of the day, crypto is a risk asset, so you would expect that just to be a buy the dip opportunity in this environment. This asset isn't about to go into a bear market in a Goldilocks scenario, macro Goldilocks scenario. So yeah, that's all we really need to know there, guys. That's your pep talk for the morning. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.